We were just talking about running backs like Trey, Jerome. Scott said they were limited in practice. What are they doing, and what are the odds that you have?
I think they'll both play. They've both been gradual each day. We've increased what they've done from a rep standpoint and physical standpoint. Knock on wood, they both feel great. I think Trey, to be honest with you, probably looks a little bit farther along than Jerome does right now. But they've both been doing everything in practice. We really haven't held them out of anything, and we'll increase what they do from a physical standpoint tomorrow. Tomorrow is a physical practice for us, and then the first day up in D.C. will be as well. But anticipate them both playing.
What is Jerome's injury? It's not hamstring and knee listed before.
I think it's more knee than it is anything, kind of a knee sprain. He heard it. We were doing, in our off week, we were doing some one-on-one drills against the running backs, and he just was making a cut and kind of slipped and turned his knee the wrong way. So I think it's more of a knee sprain than it is anything. But he's come along. I really didn't think he'd be back, but he's worked hard in rehab. Training room's done a great job with him, and we're hopeful that he'd be able to play if needed.
How badly do you need these guys back? Just with all the injuries this year, then I'm not sure what Motley's status is.
Yeah, it just the more you have available, the better off you're going to be. We're confident with Sam and JC. Very confident with those guys, what they've done the last couple games, particularly in the last game. Got confidence in both of them running the football, but to have Trey back would be huge, and then Jerome both. Jerome helps you from a depth standpoint at fullback if Sam needed a blow, and then he could also carry the ball. He brings something to the table from that part of it. And then with Trey, just a bigger body in there, somebody in short yardage goal line situations, a bigger back. From a pass protection standpoint, there's some things that we do with Trey that we may not ask the other backs to do just because he's bigger and more physical than some of those guys. So it would help a lot from that standpoint, but if they're not able to go, we'll be okay.
What's a scouting report on them defensively? What do they do well?
They do they're an athletic group. You look at them, they play hard. They're not going to try and trick you necessarily with a lot of different schemes. They do what they do, and they do it well. And they're great in the red zone. We know that they're explosive on offense. We're going to have to score some points. They really step up in the red zone. I think they're top 10 nationally, if I'm not mistaken, in red zone defense. So they're keeping teams out of the end zone when they get down there. They're creating turnovers, and they got some guys that are that can rush the passer. They're athletic up front. The linebacker that transferred from Florida State, I believe, could have gone anywhere in the country. He's at Cincinnati now, and it's a veteran group. I think their entire front seven. It's all juniors and seniors on the front seven, so it's a group. It's been together. They play well within their scheme and an athletic group.
We're not allowed to look, so we all close our eyes. Was your dad out there? Was your dad out there practice today?
I don't know if he was today. He was here yesterday. To be honest with you, there's sometimes I see him and sometimes I don't. Yesterday we were in the stadium. He bounces in and out. We were down on our end, so he may have been down there with the defense. I'm not sure. He's fully involved in everything. Again, he was out here yesterday. He was out here Thursday, I believe. He's eager and chomping to get back full speed and whatever he's not able to do here from a meeting standpoint. He was in the office last week a couple days, and he's fully involved from home. He's got his laptop set up and everything, and being able to study video, watch practice video, anything that he may miss.
And you expect him to coach the game?
Expect him to. Yeah, we expect him to.
Did you say he's got his laptop?
Yeah, believe that? Yeah, I said that. It sounded weird saying it, didn't it?
Right.
I had to find out. We were joking. He may never come back. He's got it set up pretty good in his house. He's got like an entertainment room that we use for recruiting. That's almost like a movie type screen theater type deal. And Tom Booth in our video office went down there, set up the laptop to it. So Belen showed me a picture of it. He's almost got like a TV tray set up where he's got all his papers and things like that. He's able to study the video, and whenever he needs to go over something with me from a kicking standpoint, I get summoned down to his house and drive down there, and he may go over it with me, and then I come back and correct it. So he's definitely involved. But yeah, a laptop. I had to ask Tom, our video guy, exactly what we had set up down there.
Crazy.
And yesterday, it was a DVD yesterday that Tom sent down there. He wanted some practice footage of some things that he missed. So he has a DVD of yesterday's practice that he's going over as well. So he can operate it all.
Back with you guys today? Was he out there today?
I didn't notice Coach today. I didn't see him if he was. Now, the other day I did get to see him, but he was on and off, and so, I didn't spend much time with him.
Has he been back at some of the practices, though? Is he close
Yeah,
to?
yeah. He was there yesterday, I think, and then we've practiced so much, it's hard to tell what day. But he was one other day. I know he was a couple days there, for sure.
It sounds like Cincinnati's not a team that gives up a whole lot of negative plays on offense. What do they do well to kind of prevent that?
Well, they're obviously a tempo up and down, change their tempo. They've got a good plan where, they spread you out, and they're going to obviously, spread you out to run the ball some. So they get you, where you kind of overloaded in the coverage part, and then they run it, and then they get you where you're kind of get in there and get a 6-man box going, and then they're going to throw it. So they get the ball out of the quarterback's hand. He doesn't hold the ball. He's very smart back there, so he knows where he's going with the ball. So it's a combination of, they're well coached, and the quarterback knows where he wants the ball to get to. So he doesn't hold the ball a lot. I think they're second to Duke in lost yardage plays and sacks. So they've been very efficient.
Do you change what you do on a team where, you're probably not going to get sacks, but is it just get to them as quick as you can, or do you?
Well, we're not really changing anything we do. You just know it's like East Carolina. That guy's a very efficient guy. This quarterback's a very efficient quarterback. So yeah, we're going to just obviously try to, get some pressure on the quarterback when they're throwing it and stop the run when they're running it. So be smart about, what we've seen on video and getting our plan together.
In that kind of tempo, do you have to be careful in terms of getting hits on the guy, but not getting late hits on the guy when he's getting rid of it? So.
Oh, you just be smart about that. That's any quarterback can't hit them late, and just got to be disciplined from that standpoint. But the big thing is, with a team like Cincinnati and a lot of teams, like that you can't allow them to have success running the football. Now you're getting all the play action stuff, and so we've got to be successful stopping the run. Obviously, be good on first and second down. Get them in those downs, that it's pass. Then that way now we can gear up a little bit more on rushing the quarterback. They throw the ball a lot on first down. So like a lot of teams try to be very balanced from that standpoint.
I know Daddy was seeking feedback from the NFL. What kind of advice or feedback do you give him about that whole process?
What we all want for Daddy and all of our kids is what's best for them. And if that report comes back what we consider very positive, then I told him, I'll drive him to the airport, because we're for him and what's best for him. If it doesn't, and then he's smart enough to know this is not a bad situation. It's a win-win either way. He's going to have his degree. He's going to be able to come back and get bigger, get stronger, just overall more disciplined on his day-to-day. And if he ends up coming back, if it ends up being a high grade and it's the best for him to come out, then that's what we'll do. He's smart about it. He's not, he's want to rely on this paperwork, and that's the conversation that we've had. He's all prepared to come back, but there's nothing wrong with putting that. And I understand that they've changed it a little bit how they report it. It's first or second round or nothing, and that's good. How many kids? Derek Hopkins got a 4th round grade last. James, those guys don't get drafted. You don't know what's happening with that. There's a lot of juniors that didn't get drafted to come out based on that. So they have looked at that apparently, and let's clean that up and be more definitive on what we're telling the kids. So that's good.
Bud said he thought Daddy could use another year. Do you think that would benefit him quite a bit?
Well, it's a big person league. It's an adult league. These guys are big people. Daddy could certainly use more growth as a football player, and then in the weight room when you just talking about over a 25-week period, it's a lot of football. Can he sustain and hold up and hold his body weight and so it's certainly not going to hurt him, obviously, getting a year older, getting more experience. And Daddy's a first, second round talent. But is he at that point right now? And so that's up to the guys up there to really give him a good, honest opinion. And I think, either way, if it comes out that way and he leaves, I hope he gets drafted in first, second round. And if he waits another year, I think it'll be beneficial for him just all the way around. Those guys in there, until they get to their 53-man roster, they're really not, I wouldn't think, a very inviting group in terms of, hey, I've got 3 kids and a mortgage. I'm 28 years old. That I'm going to love up on a guy that's trying to get my spot. Then you get the 53-man roster. Of course, let's build a team, So it's a business, and they'll cut you loose in a minute.
This is not going to be my last game. I got to get one more. How's it feel now?
It feels great, man. I'm super appreciative of the coaching staff and all the players that help us win that game and make me not tired. It definitely means a lot because going into this game, I know this is going to be the last one. And I've definitely felt it these past few days. Tomorrow's my last day in Blacksburg. Unless I'm as a student athlete. After today, I'll be an alumni at Blacksburg. And after Saturday, I'll be an alumni at Virginia Tech. It's crazy to think about, but I'm super excited for the game.
How important is not finishing this year with a losing record, having that winning record? What does that mean to you?
Oh, it definitely means a lot, man. I don't think in my long career playing football ever since I was in Little League, rec leagues, I've ever been on a losing record team in any sport. And it's important to me to finish out my college career the same way.
This is about as close to a homecoming type game as you can get here. Is that kind of cool to finish it off up there?
No, yeah, definitely. It's awesome because I can call my friends, I can call my family. And Ed's back in the country, and his wife's back in school. Everybody's going to be there. Her family, my family. It's awesome because after the game, I can see everybody, and it'll be just like a family reunion as well because we're all in different parts of the country, as in China and everything, and it'll be awesome to see everybody.
How many people do you have coming? Are you fighting for extra tickets?
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely fighting for extra tickets, man. It's hard because we have some kids actually from DC, and we are staying in DC, and I probably have, I think, 12 to 15 people coming. It's not as much as some of the guys, but it's still a good amount of people I see to find tickets. It's a fight down there in the locker room.
Engagement thing planned before the UVA game. What do you think that is?
It was a long process to get set up, so had a plan for a good while. Just talked to who I needed to get it set up, but I kind of kept it quiet, mainly to family and friends.
Going into your last game here as a Virginia Tech player, I guess reflect a little bit on your career and what it feels like to go into your last game. Hasn't really sunk in yet.
Well, kind of the saying you always hear kind of coming up through all this whole process in college and even through high school, you kind of hear it always goes a lot quicker than you think it will. And kind of cheesy to say now, but I mean, it's so true. It's so true. It feels like I just came in there. It's been 4 years now, but it felt like I just came in last week. Man. It just flies by and had a great ride and trying to finish it off right and put the cherry on top of the win.
You excited to be playing kind of a local game? There'll be a lot of Virginia Tech fans there. It'll probably feel a little bit like a home game.
Oh yeah, so that's what we're talking about as a team. We've been discussing kind of how many maroon and orange jackets we're going to see up there. It's gonna be a little chilly, so we see everybody be wearing Tech jackets and be ready to go for us because it's kind of a home game. But I think a good amount of Cincy fans there also because it's kind of I think it's about 7 hours away, something like that's what I've heard. So I'm not too far for them either. But I'm hoping to see a lot of Tech fans out there rooting for us.
All right, thanks, Kev. Around the yard a little bit. What are you seeing from those guys on film?
Well, they have 4 or 5, maybe 6 good wideouts that I've seen on film. Quarterback stands in the pocket, he throws the ball, exhausts all his options. They got 2 quarterbacks who are very good. It'll be a great challenge for us.
Are they a little bit like East Carolina?
Exactly like East Carolina, quarterback who can throw the ball great. 4 or 5 great wideouts, so it'll be a great test for us.
Talk about a little bit about Brandon Fason's injury. How bad is that, and how long are you expecting him to miss?
Well, we're hoping. I don't know the I guess the type of injury. I'm not a medical guy or doctor or anything like that. We're hoping we can get him back for fall at 100%, that he can start doing some things this spring is what I'm hearing. And if not, you just got to, want him to get back healthy.
Would Chuck Clark be a candidate for free safety next year, and would facing this injury have an impact on Chuck?
I think all those things will factor in. If you got Brandon back, then definitely Chuck will be a safety guy for us. If Brandon's not back, then you got to kind of see where your personnel fits in after spring ball.